Hey guys, it's Matt. I've never ever started a video with a disclaimer, but 45 seconds or less. This is necessary. notnilC Travel Tours is a combination of one, having fun, two, learning about the region to which we'll virtually be traveling to, learning about its history, its cities, its people, etc. I'm well aware there's like millions of people in this region suffering big time. It's no fault of their own. Innocent victims put into this situation, as usual, by this nasty thing we study, the ultimate bad guy here called notnilC. I'm aware of that. I can't sit back and cry about it. Okay? The notnilC will always have millions of people suffering in this world. It's what it does. I'm sorry. Nothing here is making a joke at their expense. If anything, I side with them. You think I side with puppet regimes for a one-world system? No, I don't side. Nevertheless, I can't sit back and cry about it. We're just going to go woe is me until things recover. No, I'm not going to change what we do here. I'm sorry. But the jokes are not at their expense. I side with them. Google Maps and your God, Google Earth, show me Palestine. Siri, show me Palestine. Well, it takes me to this general region in the Middle East, but I can't find the word Palestine. I zoom in, I zoom out, I zoom in, I zoom out. Sunrise, sunset, zoom in and zoom out. Ain't nothing there, Lieutenant. Okay, well, I don't understand because the word's in the news thousands of times a day. You turn on the world news, Palestine, 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 Palestine. Glenn Beck's little countdown. Americans held captive in Palestine 300 days. Well, where is it? It doesn't officially exist. It won't exist on a map, but you're really smart and you're from Davenport. They talk about it all day long on the news. They herded them like cattle into two areas. Oh, just above the word Israel, just above that word is the Gaza Strip. They herded them like cattle into that. And then just above the word Jerusalem, they put them in what's called the West Bank. Matt, this ain't going to be some sympathy video. No, it's not. This is a preparation for notnilC Travel Tours. We're going. I do feel for these poor devils, though. I mean, if there's one group in the world that's just been screwed over continuously throughout all of human history, going back to the age of the dinosaur, it's what's called the Palestinians. No, it's not a sympathy video, but we need to prepare if we're going. Matt, what do you mean we're taking a trip to Palestine, West Bank, Gaza? That's not a tourist destination. They're at war. Nobody's going in there as a tourist. Well, we are. We are. Matt, I ain't paying no $666.66 to go into that place. That's why it's cheaper this time. It's only $66.66. So shut up. Siri and your God, Steve Jobs, is Palestine a real country? Is it officially recognized? Oh, thank you for showing me this. As of June 2024, that's now to you and me, the state of Palestine is recognized as a sovereign state by 145 of the 193 member states of the United Nations. We need to know this before we go, folks. Okay, and also we're going to have a pickpocketing class to make sure you keep your wallets. We don't need no passport troubles on the way out. It has been a non-member observer state of the United Nations General Assembly since November of 2012. That's when they let him sit in the back at the kids' table and they serve drinks and coffee. This limited status is largely due to the United States. What? So, wait a second. The people in Davenport, I need to speak to you. So you have the Biden administration, and they're just liberal, touchy-feely. Oh, we love Palestine. But all the liberals and the Democrats, they love Palestine. But there's no official recognition by the United States. What the heck is going on here? Second paragraph. The state of Palestine has been officially declared by the Palestine Liberation Organization. That's Yasser Arafat's shitty creation, the PLO, on the 15th of November, 1988, claiming sovereignty over the internationally recognized Palestinian territories. Well, this don't make no sense. You can't just declare yourself king, recognize yourself. That doesn't make any sense. I can't just sit here in this chair and recognize myself as King of England. They're going to whisk me away to Buckingham Palace today. This is what the damn PLO did, is what Rodney Dangerfield did in Back to School. He's like, I dedicate this building to myself. And then he threw the dirt on whatever, Professor Egghead or whatever. That you can't just recognize yourself. Why is this even in Wikipedia? This is ridiculous. So let me get this straight. The liberal bastions of the world don't recognize Palestine, but they're in love with Palestine. And the rest of the world, and some hardcore pipe-hitting countries like Russia, and they do recognize Palestine. Guys, it just brings me right back to Genesis, the land of confusion. The notnilC level of confusion is at its all-time high. Can it raise its bar any higher on its confusion? So the liberal bastions, the United States under the Biden administration, Canada, which is a liberal outpost for everything liberal. The assistant ski instructor rejects Palestine. Liberal bastions, which has become most of Australia. I'm sorry, Australians. I'm sorry for Canadians and some tough cowboy types that live outside of Alberta. We should get together with North Dakota, South Dakota, parts of Texas, and form our own country. But you're basically controlled by Quebec. It's a liberal bastion. They can't walk across the street without hugging a tree. These are the groups. Look, all of Europe is in gray, other than Spain. Spain just said, fuck it. I'm for Palestine. The rest of Europe is rejecting Palestine. It doesn't make sense. The world's backwards. These are the countries more than any other that are supposed to be pro-Palestine. And the other countries, like Brazil, they don't give a shit. Why are they? The ones in green, they're the ones that really shouldn't give a shit. Say, no, I'm not supporting them. Why? Because I don't care. It should be just the reverse. Matt, it's not about support of Palestine. It's actually about relationships and ties to Israel. Oh, really? Pootie Tang Award? Yeah, I obviously. Obviously, it's about first and foremost ties to Israel. Yeah, I know. I know. You can say it. They know. Guys, this got my attention. This is funny as shit. Who are the two holdouts in Africa that are unwilling to recognize, the whole of Africa recognizes Palestine? I had to look into it. This is Cameroon on the left. Cameroon, is that Lionel Joseph? Oh my goodness, it just came to me. Lionel Joseph from Trading Places with Cameroon. A boogity boogie. Okay, they don't recognize Palestine. And then the other one I had to look, I still can't pronounce it, Eritrea, Eritrea, or whatever, that little one on the right, that little poor bastard country on the right, stuffed between Sudan and Ethiopia. Could you imagine a country so low that it's stuffed between Sudan and Ethiopia? That's like having North Philadelphia on all sides. Can't get away. They just said, nah, fuck it. We're not recognizing those sons of bitches. Look at Spain up there in green, the rebel, officially recognizing Palestine, when like all the West, entire Western Europe, the United States, Australia, Canada, does not officially recognize Palestine. I reached out to Spain. Not Travel Tours said, well, even your brothers in Portugal don't officially recognize Palestine. I said, Portugal? Portugal's a wart on our chin, is officially what they reported back to me. What's the other green up there? Ireland. Is that Ireland up there? I was wondering where that place was. They're in green, meaning they're in support of officially recognizing Palestine. But you know what? They don't give a shit about Palestine. They're just going to do the opposite of whatever the UK does. Said, should we officially recognize Palestine? Well, what's the UK doing? They're not, so we will. But shouldn't we care one way or another about the subject? No, we don't give a shit about Palestine. Just do the opposite of what the UK does. That's basically what happened. All right, let's do some history. This picture will represent, as it says at the bottom, natives of Gaza, Palestine. Could be 1905, 1910, 1915. It doesn't matter. Generally, people that wanted to be left alone, that have roots to this region in the Middle East, going back, I'm sure, thousands of years. Here's the problem from the Palestinians' perspective, in just terms of maybe wanting to be left alone. They never had their own country, never had their own flag, never staked their claim with national or international authorities, just wanted to be left alone. See, that's the problem. You can't be left alone in the modern world as the modern world emerged, say, starting up through World War I. So it was always part of this empire, and it was even part of the Romans claimed it. Everybody claimed it. Well, they were there for thousands of years. Everybody claiming your land, including right up until World War I, the Ottoman Empire, which was Turkey. Basically, they were on the side of Germany in World War I, lost on the side of Germany, and then the decrees got rid of the Ottoman Empire, and then modern-day Turkey emerged. But then no longer controlled these regions by the Ottoman Empire, but still the same people with the same roots living there for thousands of years. They don't care what international authorities call it on the map. Well, the problem for these poor devils came in, say, 1916 or 1917, I'll look it up, but it was before the end of World War I, this Balfour Declaration, this royal asshole was his name, Arthur Balfour, his declaration and letter to Lord Rothschild, saying there will soon be a home for the Jewish people in Palestine, just decreed by the British government, the Queen, Lord Rothschild. They said, these poor devils here got word of it. They said, your land here, you've been here. How long you been here? Well, I think my family has roots going back thousands of years. This has been given to the Jewish people. What? Who decided on that? The authorities of this world. Arthur Handjob Balfour, the British government, the Queen, and Lord Rothschild. So they're going to take our lands away from me? Well, they'll probably let you stay. But see, all these settlers will start coming in. This is another picture of the Palestinian people, say in the 20s or 30s. Most dummies on the street believe that the entire Jewish population waited until the official establishment of Israel in 1948. Like they just rented out the QE2 and the Love Boat and they just poured off the ships in 1948. No, it was, you could say, settlers over a 30 or 40 year period, accelerated by the Balfour Declaration. Now, the Jewish people, if I can hear somebody screaming at me, yeah, I'm aware, Jewish populations of the Jewish people have been in and around this area and in and around Jerusalem, of course, back through the days of Jesus and beyond, of course. But the populations relative to the Arab population, relatively small. You could see what the Balfour Declaration did. It was a catalyst or a jumpstart to start getting thousands or tens of thousands of the Jewish people to start immigrating or settling the land, etc. Balfour Declaration pops up. Who knows how many people were inspired? The Jewish population started immigrating. Now the Palestinian people are there. Little groups pop up here. Little groups pop up there. Again, they didn't just wait and pour off the ships in 1948, take the beaches like Omaha and Utah Beach in Normandy. Okay, slow waves. Of course, was the whole point of this Balfour Declaration. Now, we conspiracy people take a beating, say, amongst our family groups. Oh, everything's plotted and planned. This right here is proof of some of the things we've been saying. Absolute proof. So the Balfour Declaration is announcing what would be coming in 1948, the State of Israel, over 30 years later. I mean, we say they planned 50 years ahead of time. It's probably 100. But nobody can deny that the whole world stage isn't planned out 30, 40, 50 years ahead of time. From a common sense perspective to the dummy on the street, the Balfour Declaration relationship to the establishment of the State of Israel, it shows you it was obviously a 30-year plan. It's right here in front of you, but we're just one of those people. Here it is. The note that started it all, the famous Balfour Declaration, November 2nd, 1917. I've probably been calling it Balfour, like baseball. Balfour, take your base. A letter from that Peckerwood boy, Arthur Balfour, to Lord Rothenstein or Steiner. I don't want a banner ad. And it says, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. What did the bot write for you back then, Arthur? Or it's also a little Yoda speak. I have much pleasure in I sense much fear in you. What the heck? Where'd you learn to write and how did you get into your position? He must be a bloodline. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of the national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. Oh, sure. Or the rights and political status enjoyed by the Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation in the Legion of Doom. Oh boy. Look at this part here. Look at this little part right here. This is so, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish, meaning Palestinian communities and the people there. Oh, Balfour, the Peckerwood boy Balfour, they've been rounded up and put in little pens. One pen is called West Bank. The other pen is called the Gaza Strip. It's basically 1/1,000,000th the size of North Philadelphia. So the picture on the far left, general Palestinian lands prior to the establishment of Israel, 1946, 2 years, say, prior. All this green. Remember those old pictures I showed of Palestinian people? They're like, hey, it's okay. We've heard about this Balfour Accord, but yeah, we got a couple groups coming in here. Probably a few thousand will come. It's no big deal. We got lots of land, and maybe we're going to be left alone. There's no such thing as notnilC. And then, And are we being kicked off our own land? Thousands of families kicked off lands. We've been here thousands of years. We don't care. Move. By when? Tomorrow morning. And then, it was really the 6-Day War. Is that what they called it? The 6-Day War, another notnilC fabrication. They put them all in this little strip, this little Gaza, North Philadelphia strip, and then they get the West Bank there. It's probably 90% of it's uninhabitable, probably mountaintops. Mountain goats don't even live there. The West Bank, the 6-Day War did it. And then you got today what's on the right. And generally, it's people that just for the most part wanted to be left alone. And they were unaware of this thing called notnilC that was going to come and screw them over a 50-year period. And because the notnilC never stops, you know what they're going to be left with very soon? They're going to be left with this. I think Israel owns an island or two in the Red Sea, and they're going to put them all there. They're approaching them right now. So we got a couple islands. It's all rock in the Red Sea. And eventually we see on the real land here inside of what's called Israel proper, we won't take all that. But it's uninhabitable for mountain goats. We don't care. We want it. We have some islands in the Red Sea. But what about the nice islands you own in the Mediterranean? You can't have those. We own some islands, which are mostly like rocks of Gibraltar in the Red Sea. You can have those, and we'll pay to transport your shit. Look at this. Palestine Remembered, 1940. Haifa. Matt, what city is Haifa in today? Is it in West Bank or Gaza? Neither. Haifa is the third largest city in Israel. So yes, there were Jewish people there in 1940, no doubt. They'd been coming for centuries, not just via the catalyst of the Balfour Declaration. So there were Jewish people there. There were Palestinians there. 1940. Look at that. It's clean. People were generally getting along. And the notnilC can't have any more of that, can it? The notnilC can't have these different groups getting along. Oh, just 8 years later, this is Israel. How many Palestinians? 60% population there was Palestinian. You get out. Where you want me to go? I don't care. By when? By tomorrow morning. Get out. That history was necessary, guys, because this is notnilC Travel Tours and we're still going. Okay, when we go to West Bank, we're staying in Hebron. Roughly 250,000 people. Not as many displaced because not as much fighting in West Bank. I think 95% has been in Gaza, and we're staying in Gaza City. Roughly 500,000 people. I don't know how many thousands displaced. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. We're still going to Gaza City, guys. Yes, we are. This is the hotel. You're looking at a picture of the Best Western Hotel that I've picked out for Gaza City. There's nothing that has all four walls, guys. That's the clerk. That's the clerk. You know when you lock yourself out of your room at night, you got to ask for a key? That's her. She's up all night. She gives you the key. Each room only has 3 walls. I'm sorry. No, there's no electricity and running water. It's the middle of a war zone. These people need our American dollars to come in there. They need us to spend money. Okay, think of it as an advantage that your hotel room will only have 3 walls. Okay, think of the breezes that will come in at night. Think of the great filming you'll get out the window of things blowing up in the distance. Think of that at sunset. Think as you walk around the hotel, all the little trinkets you can bring back to the kids. Pieces of shrapnel, shell casings from bullets, unexploded ordnance. There are all sorts of stuff you could, if you just have the balls to walk around the hotel a little bit and venture out into the real fighting. Oh, we're still going, folks. I put the deposit down. What do you want me to do? Yeah, they only required $20 for the deposit for all of us, for all 100 of us. $20. But I'm not gonna waste that money, guys. We're still going. Okay. And these people in Gaza City need our American dollars to come in there. It's only for a few days. Then we can escape to the relative safety of Hebron. I came across this and I read the article. I'll tell you about it. Look at the headline below the image. We were all lied to. Gaza City was a modern, developed city before October 7th. The Jerusalem Post. October 7th, the start of the Hamas-Israel war. And I think the Jerusalem Post, guys, it seems like it's for Jewish communities like in the United States and around the world. It's not for Israel or Tel Aviv. But you can see the propaganda that's being put out here. At first, it seems like kind of shocking. Like, how could this make the Jerusalem Post? But the message is pretty clear that they're saying, oh, it was really nice. Everybody says, oh, they're all cramped on top of each other. It was a beautiful place to live, and see, Hamas ruined it for y'all. That's the message, of course. via this Jerusalem Post. The underlying message, even though it really wasn't blatant in the article, was, oh, it was beautiful. So the takeaway, the subconscious takeaway is, again, Hamas screwed y'all. They didn't have to do it. They didn't have to. They started it with hostages and this, and the Hamas didn't need to do it. Oh, it was a beautiful place to live. It wasn't what the picture that the world gets about living in Gaza Strip and everybody's on top of each other. So it's just, it's just more propaganda. It was just gorgeous. And Hamas really screwed these people because it was a lot better than the news portrayed it. Okay, guys, based on everything we know, what we've learned, let's look at the map and see if we can come forth with a few theories. Theories that could only come from, say, one of those people. People like us with insane ideas rejected by our family and friends. Well, let's just take a shot at it. It'll be crazy, but we'll take a shot at it. On the left there, bottom left, is the Gaza Strip. That's on the Mediterranean Sea, right there on the border of Egypt. Interesting. And then over there you have West Bank. It probably hasn't gotten a drop of rain probably for years. It's on the Dead Sea. What does that tell you? Surfing on the Dead Sea ain't no fun. There's certain parts there mountain goats probably don't even want to go. I ain't been there. But it probably ain't the nicest desert in the world. I'm no expert and I've never been there. We're going. But I would think that Gaza Strip on the Med is a little bit better. And see, I'm just one of those people, so I'm going to continue my theory. I know it's not worth anything, but where did the fighting break out? Where's 95% of the fighting? Where did Hamas take the hostages and start all the fighting and things blowed up and blown? Oh, it was all Gaza Strip. Hardly anything going on in West Bank. So I know it's crazy, but some real weirdos may think that Israel may want that strip along the Med there and all that beautiful oceanfront property for itself. I know, and I feel embarrassed even saying it. Are you saying that in some way this was all kind of cooked up and coordinated so people could be displaced? You're sick. Now, I do feel ashamed to put that forth, but I think that's pretty clearly what happened. The Legion of Doom, they want that for themselves, and they don't care about displacing too many people in parts of the West Bank. You can keep your surfing shacks on the Dead Sea. Have fun with that. We want Gaza. Hey, Hamas, do us a favor. Yeah, sorry. I guess I'm just one of those people.